Hello everyone, welcome to another maths video by Maths with Sarah. So today we're going to be tackling the fourth question on this kind of medley of algebra series of videos. We're going to be looking at this question, which is rearranging a formula. So we're going to try and make B the subject of the formula, whereas I mean it's W. So if you've missed the previous videos, they should all be linked to the start of this video. So if you want to go back and check out any of these others, then go ahead. But otherwise, let's get started on this question. So these rearranging questions, I think quite often people find them very scary. In actual fact, they don't have to be scary. You just have to essentially apply all of the principles of algebra that you know and you use confidently in other questions and put them all into this one question. And don't be afraid to kind of try things. If something doesn't work, try it another way, go back to the start. You don't have to get it all in one go. So I'm going to show you a few different things that we can do with this one. So let's go. So at the moment, this is obviously an algebraic fraction. That's quite difficult to deal with because you've got numbers on the top, numbers on the bottom, numbers in brackets, numbers on this side of the equal sign. It's all over the place. So for an equation like this, I would start by multiplying both sides by v, which then essentially allows you to get a straight equation rather than having this horrible looking fraction. So if we do that, we're going to end up with dw equals 15t minus 2v. And this is obviously what makes this equation makes this question that much more difficult, is that we've got a v, now got a v on this side of the equation, and we've got a v here in brackets. So we obviously need to try and get this v a little bit more accessible. So the thing that I would suggest doing next is to expand this bracket. So if we do that, we're going to end up with vw equals 15t minus, so 2v times 15 would be minus 30v. So we've at least now got the v out of the bracket and more accessible. The next thing that I would do is to say, well, actually, we want all the v's on one side. Having them on some on one side, some on the other isn't really helping us. So in that case, I would probably add 30v to both sides. That then at least means that we have the v's on the same side, and it's just going to end up as 15t. This is the step that I think takes the biggest jump. So we have to recognise that we have a v in both of these terms, and that means that we can factorise by putting v on the outside of a bracket. So that would give us w plus 30 with v on the outside of the bracket. So you can hopefully see where this is going. We're starting to isolate v on its own. So at the moment it's on the outside of the bracket. And then we have 15t on this side that we've not really done anything with. So now, so remember, this is v times what's in the bracket. So in order to leave us with just v on its own on this side, we can then do 15t divided by this bracket. That'd be 15t over w plus 30. So we've managed to get a v on its own on this side, which is exactly what it's asking us to do. So when it says make this the subject of the formula, that's essentially what it's asking us to do, is to just set it equal to v equals whatever, and then the v is the subject of the formula. I think often these look a lot scarier than they are. This is the final answer. We've done it. There wasn't anything particularly complicated, but it is just a case of remembering all the principles of algebra, remembering expanding brackets, remembering how to shift things from one side of the equation to the other, so by doing the reverse, remembering that you can factorize and put something into brackets, remembering you can then divide it. There's nothing that you can't fly through, you can't do very easily, but it's just putting it all together and realizing what you need to do in each step. I think most people would get to this stage, or at least to definitely to this stage, but it's just, I think the hardest bit is making this jump to factorize this part of these two terms to allow us to isolate v. I have got a number of these questions, I think, already on the channel. I'll tag them at the top in this video, so if you want to check them out, go ahead. Rearranging formulas is something that is so useful. If you're interested in doing A-level maths, A-level physics, A-level chemistry, A-level biology, taking any of them further, they all use equations. So quite often you'll be given an equation that might look something like this, and you might be given W and B will be your unknown. So you'll get one of these will be an unknown term. And so that's where you'll need to be able to rearrange equations fairly confidently in order to kind of make the most of those subjects. So all of maths and the sciences all definitely going to need you to be able to be confident at rearranging formula. So hopefully you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe so you know about all the new videos that are coming out. And lastly, thank you very much for watching.